Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode in our survival world. And today we are actually in the end, just starting it off. No, we're not going to be doing too much stuff in the end today. But I thought I'd start off and give you guys a few updates on the suggestions that were left 2 videos ago for this place. And I think it's quite important to just touch on them because I don't want to leave anyone thinking about what's happening, what's going on. Just kind of know what, you guys need to know what's going on. You know what I mean? It's very, very quick, very easy for me to let you know what's going on. So, first of all, decorating this area, many questions about that. I am going to be decorating it with a theme of space meets medieval, and I don't know how I'm going to meet that, or maybe space meets wood. I don't know how we're going to do it completely, but I think it's going to look really cool when we're done with it. So, first of all, I'm thinking of this sort of a design with a bit of quartz and a bit of spruce planks. My apologies, spruce planks. And I thought that could look kind of cool, but the only thing we have to keep in mind while decorating this place is using completely unspawnable things, like making sure that our roof is unspawnable, making sure that Endermen can't spawn within here. I know we could use carpet and stuff and double layer carpet, but still, we have to be very conscious about what we are doing. And I'm down for that. I think we can do it very easily, but I've just got to keep my wits about me. There we go. Do something like that. In fact, you know what? Let me do this. Make this look. Oh man, that is always so scary when you just drop down that little bit there. So I actually want to do this here. Right now, we are standing on, we should be on level, I think, 0.5. Let's check that out. Okay, we are on 1. Does that mean this is 1 as well? 1.5. Okay. Now we are going to be on 0.5. This is going to be, I think, pretty much, besides putting a trapdoor, I could imagine, well, as far as I can see, the lowest that you can possibly be in Minecraft. Yep, look at that. 0.5. We are so close. If you guys can't see it, it's right over there. So close to death right now. And I really should probably not be anywhere near my pickaxe right now, because that will just melt away. So this is the idea that we're going for. Maybe, actually, I think that'll work a little bit better. Maybe even keeping that on that level. We'll get to it eventually. But this is the idea. At least I'll give you guys a bit of an update. And the big update, the challenge that we've got set for ourselves, the massive storage system in here. It is coming. It is going to be huge. And I've got a plan to just keep it going all the way here. So we're going to go all the way down that way. And by the time we fill it up, I'm going to have some indicator to know about when we hit 1 million ender pearls. I say it and I'm like, man, that is ridiculous. But you know what? We always have fun with ridiculous things. Why do things the normal way when we can do it the ridiculous way? That's what I think. By the way, I've got an enchantment table for when we need it. Has there always never been a book on that thing? I could have sworn that there's meant to be a book on that, but that is all right. So we'll put those away. Actually, I want those, and we'll keep those. Perfect. All right, so we've got a very big project starting right about now, and that is going to be the major build of pretty much the week, I would imagine. This build that we are about to do now is actually a very small build compared to what we are going to be doing of a similar nature in the future. It's kind of just a taste, so we know exactly what we are going in for. We slowly picking up the size of our builds, picking up the detail of our builds, just going, moving along as well as we can in the series. This build that we are talking about is the first mountain. This is our first major terraforming project that we are going to be doing in the world, and it's one that I'm very excited to show you guys because I've done a lot of work in this, and it's actually been surprisingly easier than what many people might think. And you might think I'm absolutely crazy for doing such a large project, but trust me, this is what makes the big differences in the world. So before I go any further, I'm going to offer a few tips here because I know there's a lot of people who are wanting to learn to build things, wanting to just do things a lot better in your own world. So I can give you a tip. If I can give you a tip, I would love to give you a tip. And one thing that I'm doing here with building these big ones is just kind of doing weird shapes like this, planning it out with a few lines, and then going around and filling in what we need to do. And by the way, we just got a bit of snow on there, which actually looks really cool. So I can't wait for the next snowstorm in here. So what I'm doing is I'm just going ahead, I've planned out my height, I've planned out my width of these builds, done a seemingly random shape to what I would like, and now I'm just adding in a few blocks, obviously. Very easy things. And one other bit of advice for adding in the blocks, because you'll find you'll start, if you guys do undertake a big project like this, you'll find you'll start to get a lot of repeating patterns just because you naturally start doing that. You can't help it. And I actually go back through this and break a few up as I go. But I go ahead and I'm like, this is my strategy around it, is I like to take different levels on at a time. Like, I'll go up to the top, I'll go to the bottom, go to the left, go to the right, and then kind of match them in from different directions so that we don't get many flat spots, and it makes it look a little bit more random and natural. That's my trick, at least, to it. You can see here, right now, I've just gone back to the bottom, and I'll go back to the top again and fix that up a bit later. It's just the way I work, and I think that works out a lot better than trying to do each piece by piece. The other thing is that what we are doing here is also what we need to do to make the rest of this village. So, as of today, this mountain on this side is setting us up to be building more houses on this village. I didn't want to build anything before we had this mountain, because I can always take away from this mountain. I don't have to have this mountain here at all times. But pretty much, if you guys want to continue watching, this is going to be a very, very fun thing to watch, I guess. I enjoy just watching the time lapses. While we talk about this, I also want to just take a few moments to maybe catch a few people up on some of the other things related to the channel. And obviously Twitch, we updated everybody in the last episode. And now here's a big update, I guess, for our most recent cool addition. And if you guys aren't part of this, I would love to see you guys, if you guys were interested, to get involved with the community in our Discord server. It's a really, really cool server. We just all kind of chat. And if you guys don't know what Discord is, it's basically a program where you can go on and you can see a bunch of people that follow our channel have gone into our Discord server and share builds on their Minecraft builds, talk about random stuff, and just have a good time. So pretty much, if you could imagine a calm down version of Twitch chat outside of Twitch, more or less. But it allows you to share your builds. You can see what people are doing. You can get advice from people. It's really, really awesome. And this is why I'm also bringing it up today, because I haven't mentioned how big it's been getting. We've been adding on a few people over the past few weeks, and we have hit over 200 people on that server, which is really, really cool. It's a mini milestone for us, and it's just really cool to see how awesome everybody is. Everybody's just talking to each other. Everybody's having, everyone's just having a good time playing Minecraft and hanging out together, and I love that. That's what I love about Twitch, YouTube, and now Discord as well. That's just a really, really awesome way of getting everybody together and being collaborative. And what can I say? What more could I ask for in such an awesome community, guys? So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Now, as we get into the end of this, let me go back to what we are getting up to here. I've done only the fronts of these mountains, and I think they look pretty damn good. So this is a very basic shape, and I think it's about time we go ahead and add in some extra detail to this. Before we go any further, Jansey, where did you get all that stone from? That seems like a lot of stone. Let me welcome you to some of the slimiest chunks in this world. Got a slime chunk right here. I've dug out this entire slime chunk from level 43, where we are standing, all the way down to level 5 down there. And I've gone actually put in these levels. That was for the last episode. I actually did that. Just put in these temporary levels here to get as many slimes to spawn as possible. I've also got this chunk here, which is a slime chunk. I've also got this chunk over here, which is partially cleared out. I did this actually today so that we could get the resources we needed to be able to get that mountain built. And by the way, that mountain actually didn't use too much of the stone. We've actually got a lot of stone left, which is very, very surprising. Very, very surprising. It's like, you know what, actually, when I come to think of it, it's a hollow mountain. Actually, I'll keep those. It's a hollow mountain, and there's really not that much, like, not that many blocks when it comes down to it. And I've also just got these here. I've been slowly but surely adding to my beacon and subtracting from my beacon. In fact, I'm going to keep that on me there. But this over here gives us 2 more. So we could be very close to finally getting our haste 2 beacon. We've dug all this out with efficiency 5, haste 1, which basically does absolutely nothing. We've got another, let's check. I've got that block over there empty right now. But this means we now need another 8 more over here and 1 more over there. So 9 blocks left before we have a Frankenstein haste 2 beacon. Because I call it Frankenstein. It's made up of every piece of block right now. So once we get that, this will make this job very, very easy. And it'll also mean that we got all our hands on as much stone as we could possibly want without having to go through so much crazy, tedious digging. Right now, what we're about to do is we're about to go to probably the really tedious part of the mountain building. I actually don't know what I've just done with all of my... I had a bunch of dirt, and I don't know what I've done with it. I think I might have left it back at the main base. Oh, that's a pity. Not a big problem though. So what I was gonna say is, oh, by the way, excuse me, I actually haven't shown you guys how these look from down here. Let me just take that little bit of time to show you what it's looking like. I think this is actually making this area so much better. Of course, we've got a lot of work to do here, but I think it's going to slowly start adding up. You know, add this piece, add the next piece, add the piece after that. You get the picture. It's going to look fantastic. So that's what we've got right now. My mind right now is telling me we got a massive mountain over here. That's what we're going to be doing next. We're going to be doing a huge one over here, and it's going to be a bunch of like snowy mountains. I'm going to be putting a lot of dirt on. We're going to be texturing this as well, and then this one's going to tie in with these as well. So that's the plan as well. That's just going to be stuff we're going to be picking up on every episode within streams. We're going to just catch up on that, and you guys will notice the progress as we keep going. So we'll get into some of the more tedious but very big important work on here in the very soon amount of time. But look at this. I've got this area here now, which is ready to be built on. I've got this area over here, which we're going to have to work out once we get these mountains in. So I've put in pillars just where I'm going to be building a new mountain. And the plan for these mountains is I'm actually going to build this mountain independent of this so that they don't look like they're bulging into each other. It looks like this one over here smashed into that one, and that's why we've got two mountains. That's my thought. And then, of course, we got to do the mountains over here. We got to do the mountains over there. So it's a lot of work still to be done. But this was a very good start. Very nice, nice looking thing to start off our village. And by the way, that house, I got a few comments in the last video again. That house is going. Do not worry. We're going to be doing stuff to that. And also, I decided to try something out with a little bit of a broken out area here. Maybe a cave. Maybe something else. Who knows? We'll get to that very soon. So, what we have to do first of all, why I said we're going to be doing some really tedious things, and I'm not going to do the whole mountain today. Let me tell you this, it won't. If I was going to do this whole mountain today, we would be not be having an episode today. That is something that I could guarantee, because this is a very big job, doing this sort of stuff. But it's alright, it's nice and relaxing. I enjoy doing it, and that's just texturing stuff over here. Like, for instance, just doing that, putting items in the offhand, and adding a few different varieties of stone. The andesite is a magical block. Look at that. And the just plain andesite, not the polish. The plain andesite makes really good differences there. Actually, there we go. Look at that. Pull that in there, and then we can start making a bit of a smoother curve into this. I don't need two of those. I can do that. For instance, there. Put some of these in here. A stair in over. Really? Oh wow! Aren't I so lucky? There we go. A stair in over there. Just do stuff like this, and slowly but surely we should be getting a really nice shape to this mountain, a very curved off, natural looking shape. The other things that I want to add to this is snow, of course. Snow is obvious. I mean, we live in a snow biome right here. We need to be doing it. And of course, if we left it, eventually we would get snow, but we wouldn't get the layers like what I want. So we're going to be actually messing around with that, playing around with a few snow layers just to get this to look a bit more natural as well. There we go. And one thing we may have a problem with is lighting from here. So the torches underneath here could push through these transparent blocks and make it look a little bit weird. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that as well. There we go. Do that there. And we'll just get the top piece done. And then the next piece that I'm going to have to put in will have to be a bit of snow before we can start adding some of the landscaping, the more interesting things. You see that? Got rid of something we didn't need. Never get attached to a block being in a place just because I put it there. You know, that's another thing. Another bit of advice I see people do all the time. People don't want to ever break the things they've built down. And I almost now live by breaking the things that I built down to make my builds look a little bit better. And that's something that I've had to learn. And it's something that I'm glad I've learned. is build your build and then break your build down. It's to make it a little bit better. So you see how I'm just continuously breaking blocks out, putting new blocks in. Just because you place a block, you can always place it again. You can always do it again and get this area to just look a little bit better. So there, and I'm thinking maybe some stairs there. And let's just see the little difference that adding in these extra little blocks in makes to this. Okay, I'll have to zoom in here. There's a bit too much cobble, and of course that's because I was alternating between cobble and stone, so I'm going to have to add some stone in there, but overall I think that's going to work quite well. The other thing that I need, as I say, was a bunch of snow. So I've got this snow golem over here. I'll be back with a update on how much snow we have. We do now have some snow, so let's go ahead and start some snow layers. As I'm running up, I'm just going to pump a few down just randomly as I'm going. But what I'm trying to do here is I want to get this mountain to have a bit of a snow cap at the top here. Not too much, because the next mountain's going to be where the real deal snow falls down, but I want to still get at least a bit more snow than what's at the bottom. So we'll do this here, just grab a few of these blocks away. There, we'll have to get rid of that one probably, and just try and do this a little bit. Really. That's a really, really annoying thing. I'm not going to have them on my offhand anymore. Alright, so let's do this. There, like that. Alright, that one didn't have to be one of those. We can maybe do it a little bit there. Don't know why that's... There you go. There you go. Just uneven levels like this. And this is actually one thing I wish. I get asked very, very often, like, what would I like to add into Minecraft? This is something which I think would be really cool. Adding in a few more blocks that have layers like this, like dirt layers or something like that. I feel like that could do wonders for building. Let me tell you that. As far as texturing ground and like making really cool shapes, that would be a really, really big one. I feel like it would even be better than adding in the additional slabs and stairs, which a lot of people want, like vertical slabs and vertical stairs. Well, not vertical stairs, vertical slabs. And I think that this could even do a pretty big job, bigger than those ones, I feel. So let's do that there, and we'll see how it looks like from the bottom before we start adding in a few other things, because there's a few other things I do want to add to this mountain. Of course, it's a matter of time before it starts becoming a proper completed project, but adding in a few bits and pieces here and there is going to be the way this one's going to be done. So there, here, and like that. Perfect. Right, step back time, and I reckon it's going to look alright. Probably going to need a few changes, I'm guessing, though. Yeah. You see what the issue here is, that there's a lot of stuff just sitting on top, and it's creating these solid lines. Like, look at that. It creates a very solid line across there. So what I got to do is I got to work out a way of blocking those off, and that's either by, for instance, let me show you this. So I've got the solid line here, there, like that. I've got to go all the way up here and try and break it up. So I'll have to put one block that actually overlaps it like that, and then I can do the next blocks that kind of do that, and then that should get rid of it to some extent. But then the next layer will be the issue. Yep, that's what I got to do. So I'll get those in. That's not a problem. The next thing I want to go and give a try will be getting in a few trees here and there. And I'm just going to grow the plain normal spruce trees just for the time being. We'll do that there and that there. I think this should be able to grow in here. I don't think that'll hinder it. Maybe it's just too tall. Give it another... Yeah, that will. Okay. So we've learned something. I know that they can grow sort of like that, but I think maybe 3 is just too much. 2 will definitely be alright. There we go. 100%. If not, it's just we didn't have enough bone meal. Yep, we didn't have enough bone meal. Alright, so I'm gonna have to go get some more bones. I think I've got some in the chest. Alrighty, so here's an update on the mountain, and what I've decided to do is add some trees to it, and I was trying to grow those trees. In fact, I had to just do a tricky way by putting them one up and placing my own block below it, and that ended up working. But if you have a look here, I want to do some custom trees. I want to do some normal trees. But when I'm having a look at this, these ones here are custom trees. That one, all these 4 here. That one over there, and that one over there are normal trees. And I'm finding that doing these custom trees, what I noticed when I was doing these normal ones, is that it made the mountain look very, very small, because these trees are actually very big. And this mountain is actually playing with us. I didn't realize it until just then. But it's not actually as big as what it looks. From down here, it looks like it's a fairly large mountain. But as soon as you put a tree up there, I mean, look at this level. We are on Y74. Let's give or take 74 there. By the time we get to the top there, it's not actually that tall. It looks like we've gone up quite a long way, but really, it's not too bad. Let's have a look at... I haven't actually checked it out, to be completely honest, but I've realized it's really not that far. So, at the tallest point, it is 101. So, we've only gone up about 26 odd blocks. Not much at all. Not very much at all. And by the way, guys, I did end up finding my dirt, if you guys were worried. It was there. I just had it in my inventory. So, there we go. That's definitely looking good. I'm going to get rid of those trees. I'm going to get rid of those trees. And I want to put in a lot more of these smaller ones around here to make it look like a bit of a pine forest going on in here and in the valley behind it, before you get to the massive mountain over there. And then the other thing that I want to do is, of course, adding in the texture. You guys know about that. But I want to add in some bushes around here. Just like 1 or 2 around there. Maybe 1 over there. 1 there. And that's going to just make it look a little bit better. And along with those trees, it should make an absolutely massive difference. Just adding in the little bit of life to this build. So my little miniature trees, by the way, I think when we get a little bit closer, I'm able to actually go a bit bigger. So over here, we could, for instance, do 4 blocks, where I've actually been doing 3 blocks most of the time. And we'll go up 1 more. Can I get up there? of course my elytra would activate, wouldn't it? Alright, so one more try, and... Okay, we missed it. Let's just take that as a sign, alright? So, I've just been doing these sort of small ones, just out like that, there. Maybe we'll break that one there. And this has actually made a very, very good change to this area. There we go, and there we go. Wait, I've forgotten an entire side. There. Perfect. Alright, so stepping back from this, what do we see? Another good tree. So the smaller trees are definitely making a good difference. The only problem is, I think, will be when we build the house, because this house is going to be fairly large. And the issue with the scale of the two things is going to be when we're standing back here, I would imagine. So picture it from a distance here. We're going to see the mountain, and then we should see the house almost at the same level as what the mountain is going to be, I guess. I'm guessing somewhere near there. And that's going to make this mountain look more like a hill. Yeah, look at that. The house will probably be around there. So I guess that could actually work. I guess that could work. And by the way, house, maybe it might be a shop. I'm not too sure with that just yet. But that's coming along very, very well. I'm going to go ahead between episodes now, and I'm going to go and make this area look very pretty, make it a lot bigger than what it is right now. Add a few more trees, and then go ahead and add some extra mountains and stuff eventually. But what I want to do is I want to do one quick job before we go any further. So, time to admit something that I kind of derped up on. This farm over here, you'll see it, you might remember it. Hopefully you guys will remember it. It wasn't very, very long ago. But this sugarcane farm, it was episode 10 if I remember correctly. And I actually messed up with this. Am I? Oh, I'm pointing at the wrong farm. I'm pointing at the wrong chunk. The sugarcane farm right over here. It works. Let me tell you this. It works. But the way I derped up was that this actually won't grow when we're not in the area. I did not realize it, and perhaps I've heard it, and I just couldn't think about it, but sugarcane should not grow over here when we are not around. Even though it's in the spawn chunks, sugarcane needs a player to be around, and that was a bit of an oversight from me. I should have known that, but that just means we're going to have to break this farm down eventually behind us. I can still AFK over here, and I'll get sugarcane. I just need to... If I want it to work all the time, that's not going to happen. And it's just taking up a bunch of space that we might need in the spawn chunk. So I'll definitely make an AFK area, like a bunch of farms that we can AFK at and get ourselves all the things we need by being at those farms. That'll be a project for a much, much longer time. But I thought I'd give you an update if you guys were playing along here. That's a pretty good quality shulker box there. I don't know why I don't have it there. What I want to do now is I realize that I don't have the things on me, but I want to build a little bit of a map area here. 4 main maps, in fact, is what we're going to need. And this main map area, in fact, we might actually be able to do something kind of cool if we do this and this. Yeah, I'm placing blocks like crazy today. Right there. Right, we can do something maybe like this. Here, there, and there. Because remember, when people download this world, which, if you guys do want to download, there's currently one at level 10. At episode 10, let me put that in over there. Bam. That's where we are there. That's all we've explored of this map. But I'm going to be putting in all these maps here, so when people come in, they can see stuff. I've actually got a pretty cool project to do with the maps in a very, very long time as well. But what I want to do with these maps, this is my cool idea, is once we've got these 4 maps here, they should be large enough to cover most of the area that we're doing stuff in. You'll be able to see what we're doing, but once we've named each kingdom, we can actually go into the sky all the way up to level 255 and do something similar to what we did with the treasure map, where we can put some markings on here. You'll see it on the map, but you won't see it in the real world, and it will look really cool to have each map with its own like kingdom name over it there, one over there, and then each of the small villages on. I reckon that will look really, really cool. Tell me what you think about that idea. It's a very, very far plan. I think it's a very awesome plan, but it'll take some time. But for today, guys, I think that will do it for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been a lot of work for me, but I think it's well worth it. I think that it's turned out very, very good. So, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.